Let me jump in and change gears here and ask Charles a question about what do you think, Charles, about what's happening in our country, these canceled priests? Father Richard Heilman, he just got canceled over the weekend by the Bishop of Madison, Donald Hine. He took disciplinary action against him for making a political statement. I guess Father Richard Heilman questioned the elections. But he's not the first one. Father Z, Father Altman, many others. Priests are being canceled. I guess, my question to you, when is this and when is this going to stop? Why is it happening? And would you say that the first person that was canceled, was it Marcel Lefebvre?
Well, Marcel Lefebvre was not only canceled, and this is something I've said before in various venues. I'm going to say it again. Regardless of what you think of the Society of St. Pius X, regardless of what you think of Archbishop Lefebvre's subsequent actions, the consecrations, regardless of all that, it's important to bear in mind that the drama of the latter part of his life started really in 1976 when he appealed to the Apostolic Signatura to review his suspension.
Yes.
And the Secretary of State forbade the Signatura to hear the case.
Right, I remember that. Snyder said.
This is such a basic injustice, and it's got terrible, terrible repercussions because when you have the very highest authorities in the church abusing canon law.
Yes, like we have now.
Well, indeed. When you have that, you have a state kind of like Chicago under Al Capone.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
You've got a judge, you've got judges, you've got a mayor, you've got police, but it's all sort of kabuki.
Yeah.
It doesn't really, in a larger sense, it does mean anything. It does mean important things. The mayoralty, the police department, all those things have a certain reality which transcends whatever immediate garbage they're going through.
Yeah.
The fact that Mayor Moron is on the take doesn't change the, relative majesty of the office of mayor. And this distinction between office and individual is something we have to make.
Make the distinction, yeah.
Always. But having said that,
yes,
with Archbishop Lefebvre,
yes,
he was faced with a nightmare situation. Now, you can argue until the cows come home about whether or not he did the right thing. But what you can't argue is that his actions were precipitated by a terrible injustice that ought never to have happened. And an injustice for which, I have no doubt, souls were held accountable after they went to their respective awards.
When do you think is going to stop? Why do you think this is happening? What's your take on this?
Well, basically, I've got to go back a little bit in time.
Yes.
The people who are currently running the church were the young priests of my childhood. And they simply wanted to completely transform the church into something in their own image. Ugly and stupid, I suppose. But they wanted to make it like them. Now, for various reasons, having to do on the one hand with divine grace, and on the other hand with John Paul II and Benedict XVI, there was an eruption of adult supervision after Paul VI, which sort of slowed down and stymied to some degree what they wanted to do. And then the reemergence of tradition within approved confines, getting really big under Benedict, drove them into a fury, and then began a pontificate of one of their own. And so now they've got, especially since trash can custodians, whatever it is, they've had free reign for the past year. Dominatrix Dominavi, or whatever he called it, the latest. And this is why these people are being targeted, because if you allow parity of esteem in a parish between the traditional Mass and the new Mass, even the new Mass, and I have to say that when you have that set up, the new Mass always improves.
Of course it does.
It just gets better and better. The fear on the part of these people is that what Benedict XVI declared in his motu proprio might come to pass, that in the end the two forms would sort of reemerge with all the reverence of the traditional Mass and with the new saints and all the rest of the new one.
Yeah.
Now, those priests who are specifically doing that, this is why, with a few exceptions like Cardinal Seepage in Chicago, the strictly traditional borders are not as yet really being attacked, because that's all tradition all the time. What these guys are afraid of are people being exposed to tradition who have not been exposed to it before, because they want to kill it.
Yeah.
Now, what to do about it, I've thought long and hard about this. And I suspect if you're in a parish where that's the case, you might consult a lawyer about suing your diocese. Not on behalf of the priest, because he's an employee of the diocese, and that's what he's told. Your own civil rights. I don't know exactly how that would work,
Nor do I.
but it's something I think that people should explore, should look into, should consult legal aids, because you see, the only thing bishops of that sort understand is money.
Yeah.
They really don't understand anything else. So if you say, you know what, Your Elegance, you do whatever you want. It's just that you're taking you to the cleaners. Okay? So you ban the Tridentine Mass. You bet. And we're going to sue you for $50 million. How
That'll
about
get
that?
their attention.
Well, I think so.
You think?